Alright, welcome to my quick tip class setup video. We're going to go over 4 classes that include 3 divisions that I've been using that have done really well for me. And we'll go over the most important things that you can have in a class. Obviously the gun, but the attachments that you need to have on your gun, the basic training, your secondary, your equipment, all these sort of things. We'll go over what I've been finding has been the best and what hopefully will work for you guys. Now of course you always have to find what works for you, but in my opinion these classes that we're going to show will get you great results. The first class will be an automatic assault rifle class, and it's, an automatic assault rifle class is something you gotta have in Call of Duty. It's the most versatile class you can have in the game. We'll also go over an SMG class so you can dominate at close range. And of course, you can't have a class video without including a sniping class, one of the most fun things you can do in Call of Duty. So we'll throw that in there, what I've been using. And then we'll leave off with a personal favorite of mine, the semi-automatic assault rifle class. I love those single shotguns, so let's jump into it. Alright, so like I said, the first class we're going to go over is an automatic assault rifle class that uses the infantry division. Now, the infantry division is probably the best one in the game. I mean, you get a bayonet, which is super fun to use, and it's a single shot melee kill. That's fun. Additional primary attachment, huge. Extra magazines, possibly huge. Moves significantly faster while aiming down sights, so basically stock, huge. I mean, absolutely great. If you can get up to that 4th level, that's amazing. So you use the infantry division with your automatic assault rifle. It just makes sense. Now, the most important thing is the weapon. Now, of course, like I said, you gotta find what works for you. But what I've found, the 3 best automatic assault rifle guns are definitely, the BAR is the best one, hands down. That's what the competitive gaming community is using as the best one. But just right behind it is the FG42, and that's a really good one too. I think they both have 20 bullets in their clip, I think, 20, 25. But an early one that you can use that is really good is also the STG-44. All of these are great. They'll do well for you, the BAR being the best if you can get it. Now, attachments. People always ask me what attachments to use. Number 1, you gotta have quick draw. Call of Duty has always been about winning gunfights and bringing your gun up faster than the other person. Quick draw, you have to have it. Anyone who's not using it, you will almost always decimate. Then, I always like to have grip, okay? Nothing wrong with reducing the recoil on your gun, keeping it nice and steady. That's always good. Now, the third one I use is high caliber. This thing absolutely melts people. If you put on high caliber, you will see your number of headshots increase significantly. You will definitely notice an increase in your headshot kills. And I mean, you're always looking for that attachment in Call of Duty that increases the damage. There hasn't been one in like a lot of games that straight up just increases the damage. Okay, high caliber is it. Yes, you have to hit their head, but that's what it is. Now, the 4th attachment is completely up to you. I like rapid fire if the gun has a good iron sight, and the STG does. And the BAR does as well. The FG42, you probably need a sight. But the STG-44, for example, and the BAR have good iron sights, so I go with rapid fire just to get that increased fire rate, which will increase my chance of gunning down the person that I run around a corner and see. Now, for the basic training, there's 4 that I primarily use. Okay, you can see that I have primed equipped. Primed has got to be the best basic training in the game. Again, that's what the competitive gaming community seems to be using the most. I mean, just look at it. You get another attachment, so if you are using the infantry division and you have that extra attachment, the 2nd level unlocked, that means you get 4 attachments on your assault rifle. That's big. And also, oh look, you flinch less when shot. That's also huge for winning gunfights. Okay, I think it's clearly the best one, and it's the one I would recommend to use, especially for your automatic assault rifle class. Now, the other 3 basic trainings that I use primarily are riflemen, because if you're using a sniper or like a semi-automatic assault rifle, it's great to have like an SMG as your secondary. You can whip it out and dominate at close range and dominate at long range. I love having the versatility. I think it's the most fun basic training because you can spawn in with like a sniper and you can have fun with that, which is obviously a lot of fun. You need to actually kill some people, bring out an SMG and melt them at close range. The other one I use is hustle. I mean, reload faster and while sprinting. And while sprinting part is whatever, but it's always great to reload super fast. It just feels good. It makes you feel really efficient, and all that dead time, you don't have to worry about it because you're reloading super fast. It's pretty basic, but I really like it. And then Gunslinger is the other one I use. Mostly, almost primarily for my SMG class. Fire guns while sprinting and diving. I mean, with an SMG, you're going to be running and gunning. So might as well be able to shoot while sprinting. That's almost as fast as you can get for starting to shoot your weapon, right? Once you see someone. So those are the 4 that I use. Primed being the best. Rifleman being the most fun. Hustle being good. I mean, it's obvious. Reloading fast is good. And then Gunslinger for maybe an SMG class. Now, secondaries are not as important as they have been in past Call of Duties, I feel like, for Call of Duty World War II. But probably the best one is the machine pistol right now. It's basically like a small, watered-down version of an SMG. The only reason I have the P08 is because I have, heroic version of it. I think it looks really sweet. Look at that. But then I would recommend high caliber for the attachment. If you don't have extended mag. If you do, might as well throw on extra bullets. The only time you're ever going to be pulling out your secondary is if you need to finish off someone and just fire off as many bullets as you can to make sure you hit a few and kill the guy. And then finally is your equipment. I always like a frag grenade. Unless you're playing like war and need a smoke grenade, I always like a frag grenade just to give me that ability to cook and kill people that are at weird angles, okay? And now this is up for debate. A sticky bomb is pretty good. The bouncing betties in this game are pretty dang good. Some might say it's a bit cheap, but this is really up to you. I like a frag grenade. Next we have the SMG class with the Airborne Division. Obviously Airborne Division is what you're supposed to use with the SMG, and let's take a look. You get a suppressor, you get a sprint for longer distances. At 3rd and 4th levels you can climb over obstacles faster and increase sprint speed. So all great for running and gunning, which is what you're going to be doing if you're using an SMG. Now let's take a look at the weapons. Honestly, they're all pretty good. Now the BAR is probably the best gun in the game, followed by the FG42. So the assault rifles are kind of taking it home early in the early versions of Call of Duty World War II. But honestly, and especially for pubs, SMGs are still really good, obviously at close range. The best is probably the PPSH. I mean, 35 bullets a clip. Overall, it's great. I mean, there's really nothing bad with it. The recoil is good. Now, the most devastating is the WW2 28. At super close range, it will always win the gunfight. It's the fastest firing gun in the game. It absolutely melts if you're super close range. But anything more than close range, it's hard to keep it on them. The Type 100 is also good. The grease gun is okay. It's a bit slow, but it's okay. The Type 100 is good for more of a ranged SMG, and the MP40 is okay. Now the Thompson, not as good as we'd hoped. It's kind of everyone's personal favorite, the Tommy gun, but definitely not as good as some of these others. But I would say the PPSH is the best. Okay, so I would say go with that. Now for attachments, like I always say, you gotta have quick draw. And what else? The second one is kind of up to you. I like grip, or I also like advanced rifling. You could maybe do extended mag if you're really trying to pub stomp. Maybe rapid fire if you really want to make sure you're winning gunfights. But you cannot go wrong with quick draw grip, which is what I have attached now. Now for the basic training, like I was saying earlier for the automatic assault rifle class, if I'm going to use Gunslinger, I'm going to use it for the SMG class just because I'm running and gunning. It'll make sure that I'm getting bullets off before the enemy. Secondary, again, it's up to you. The machine pistol is probably the best. It's not a big deal because you won't be using it very much. They're not as important in Call of Duty World War II. And again, I like frag grenades. So there's my SMG class. Now for my sniper class, using the Mountain Division, which is obviously for snipers. Let's take a look at it. You get the Sniper Sharpshooter, which basically just allows you to hold your breath and kind of focus in. Second level, always invisible to enemy recon aircraft. Then you've got hidden to player controlled streaks. And finally, the fourth one, which in my personal opinion is the best of any of the divisions, the coolest thing, silent movement. I love silent movement. I love people not being able to hear me. And now some people I think have said that hearing footsteps has kind of been dimmed down compared to past Call of Duties. I think it's increased. I think it's still, if you've got headsets, it's pretty easy to hear people. So if you can get the Mountain Division up to level 4, that is really beneficial and huge, and I really like it. Now, snipers. I'm always going to go with the bolt action one-shot kill. I'm not a semi-automatic guy. I'd rather use a semi-automatic assault rifle. So I'm throwing the Carabin out of here. But otherwise, I think the rest of the three are good options. I can't decide which one I like better between the Lee Enfield and the Kar 98. I've used both of them a lot. The Lee Enfield you get really early, so that's what I would suggest. You can get used to it. It's got 10 bullets a clip. The fire rate is high. It's solid. Okay, if you hit him chesting up, it's a one-shot kill. The Kar 98 is pretty similar, just a little bit more damage, a little bit slower fire rate, and only 5 bullets per clip. Now, I haven't used the M1903, but apparently it's the most powerful. I assume it's the slowest. So if you want to be sure you're going to kill someone with a sniper, then I would say use this. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to go with the Lee Enfield. It's definitely a good gun to use, so if you're not sure, go with the Lee Enfield. Now, attachments. These I'm almost fairly certain on. Ballistic calibration reduces sway. Obvious, right? I mean, all it does is help you. And then rapid fire. If you're trying to actually be a sniper, maybe get a little bit of quick scoping going, you gotta have rapid fire so you can, just pound them out, one kill after the other with a sniper rifle. Now, the basic training, see, this is where Rifleman comes in. It's my personal favorite because it's the most fun. Throw on Rifleman, you get a primary weapon as your secondary. Boom, I got the PPSH, best SMG in the game, as my secondary. I mean, who's stopping me? Long range, I've got him. Close range, I've got him. It's all over. Now, for the equipment, I've got a tactical smoke grenade. The reason is, when I'm playing war, there's that I forget what Operation Breakout. They're building the bridge. You gotta have a smoke so that you can build the damn bridge. So that's why I got it equipped. Again, equipment not a big deal. That's up to you. But there's my sniper class. Finally, we'll go over the semi-automatic assault rifle class that I use. Now, it also uses the infantry division. Again, it's probably the most overall best division you can use, especially for assault rifles. Now, I have equipped the M1A1 carbine, and some people will probably disagree with me on this. Now, the M1 Grand and the SVT 40 are the other single-shot assault rifles that you can have right now, and they're both two-shot kills. The M1A1 carbine, or carbine as Stokes would say, is a three-shot kill, but it's got 15 bullets a clip, and it's easily the most accurate of the three that I just mentioned. And I'm honestly just really feeling it lately. So this one might not appeal to people. It doesn't have the power like the others, okay? It takes 3 shots to kill. You got to be accurate. You got to be able to, move your trigger finger really fast to rip off these shots. But if you like them, go with it. It's a nice looking, clean weapon. Oh, and I also have a heroic variant, so that helps too. Attachments, basically same as always. Quick draw, gotta have it. Grip, especially for semi-automatic assault rifles, I would recommend it so that you really are reducing your recoil. And then high caliber, I'm telling you, it's great. It really will increase your headshots, big time. But if you don't like the iron sight, you could use a sight, or the reflex or the lens, or maybe rapid fire, I would say, if you're really trying to win more gunfights with it. Also, advanced rifling is never a bad option. And again, like I've been saying, Rifleman is probably the one I use the most because I like having options. I like being able to pull out an SMG and go and clear out a building, even though my primary gun is a semi-automatic assault rifle. And then finally, I got a frag grenade because I like to be able to kill people with cooking a grenade. Alright, so that has been my class setup video. Now, I'm fairly new to this, so if there's anything you feel I didn't explain very well, if there's something you want me to go more in depth about, feel free to leave some comments and ask me some questions. These classes, I really think will do well for you. Now, of course, it's Call of Duty. They're all open for debate. You got to find what works best for you. But I'm telling you, if you give these a go and really test them out for a good amount of matches, they will do well for you, okay? I mean, I know those weapons that I listed off are some of the best in the game. I know primed is the best combat training. Those attachments you cannot go wrong with, so give them a go, and I hope they work out for you.